You are listening live and watching, hopefully, if you care about us, to Rally Round the Natty, brought to you by the Hot Buttered Popcorn Studios.
Absolutely.
We have a loaded lineup tonight. Iceman, Strawberry Ice from his podcast, Sports with Strawberry Ice. Cincy James from somewhere in Kentucky. Dale.
I am loaded, yes. Loaded podcast.
And Kevin
Loaded.
from everything Blue Jackets in the world. Also, Bengal Dad, as you know and love him. And yours truly, Santori. So, we got a fun show tonight, I think. I don't really know what we're talking about yet. It starts the cast. I don't really know what we're going to talk about tonight. The title of the show is 11 Games Isn't Enough, so I guess we could start there.
Oh, not even close.
Yeah. Context of 11 games isn't enough.
Yeah, 11 games is not
Nearly
enough.
For what?
Dale, I know you're a little passionate. Do you want to hold off on this, or you want to chime in?
Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. I take my comment back. I understand what this is. Never mind. Okay.
Go ahead, Dale.
Well, can we curse?
That's on you, man.
I don't support anybody that supports him. I'll just say that. I'll keep it PG here.
Oh, now you do.
Sorry, Ice. I did that on the show. But I'm upset. I feel, and it's funny that it's against Houston in Houston. It's his first game back. Like 11 is such a weird number.
Yep.
I just hope that karma hits him in his face as hard as possible. But other than that, I don't have much to say about him. I think he's a joke. I think he's a sexual predator. I think he's a piece of crap. I think Roger Goodell had a chance to send a message and he didn't. So it's like gambling, which we're in bed with gamblers and gambling sites, and we got a team in Vegas. We're going to suspend Calvin Ridley for a year, but we're going to absolutely be like, oh, crimes against women, no big deal. That's a joke to me. And until the NFL takes it seriously, but they'll keep pumping out their Women Month and their pink jerseys and their breast cancer awareness month and making money off of that stuff. And it is sad and embarrassing, honestly. That's all I've got.
I mean, I think it's well said. It's very hypocritical of the NFL. I mean, like you said, October is going to roll around and everybody's going to be out there, the high pink socks or the towel or the hand warmers and glove, just the little accents of it. Is Watson going to wear anything pink? Well, no, he didn't get to play in October. He gets to bypass that. No, it's a shame. It really is.
He's a black eye for the NFL.
Yeah, and he's talking and he's putting out a pre-written statement, and I'm sure he didn't write it. Talking about how remorseful he is and all this stuff, and then he comes out and says that he stands by his innocence. He's talking about just like the NFL, both sides of his mouth, and you can't trust somebody like that.
Well, he had released a statement about an hour ago, I think, where he was like, "I apologized for the people that I triggered."
Yeah, the triggered comment. That was that's horrible.
Triggered is when you offend or upset somebody. So I'm sorry.
But he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Like,
if he did nothing wrong, then why'd he settle?
If he did nothing wrong, why is he remorseful? I mean, shouldn't that be an admission of guilt by default? I mean, there's a
wrong. Why is he suspended?
Right.
Yeah.
Long ass paper trail to say that you're not remorseful for anything. Well, of course, Haas is chiming in like the Jaguars fans did. Just see that.
There we go.
Yeah, over and over and over again.
Oh, he's
going to hear that a lot.
He's going to hear a lot worse than that, honestly. He's going to have
I'm sure he's had, not that I condone it, he's probably had death threats and everything already.
Oh, but there's going to be stuff thrown at him.
It's
he's almost 2 years removed from really playing a meaningful game when he plays.
Oh
Like-
God, it's happening.
Yeah.
Crypt Keeper found our podcast.
Yes. Oh, and with the new logo.
Yeah, so he has a new logo because
Oh my
Dale
God.
called him out.
I
Okay.
didn't call him out, Crip. I wasn't
Because
calling
you
him out.
said people who comment on here and don't put their face out there. So he's like, "Are you talking to me?"
Is his face on here? Because I'm having
Still not. No, his face.
Where's the Carson Palmer comment? It's going to happen in like 5, 4. Every single time I'm on a podcast, he finds me and he's like, "Oh yeah, Santori loves Carson Palmer." Like I don't know who the guy is. Like I appreciate the support. Like I know
Can
him.
we-
He knows me. I guess that's a great.
Hey,
thing.
can we go back to a more positive note?
Well,
Dad,
real quick.
Dad,
Yeah.
did you get to go to that Field of Dreams game?
Absolutely. I went to that game.
Nice.
That was a fantastic event. The game sucked, but I don't really care about the game.
No.
But the event, getting to be on the same field, the movie
Yes.
field, walking through the corn stalks to go to the major league field, just having that music pumped in as you're walking through the corn stalks. It was cool. It was really a cool night. There must have been 500 or 600 fans just on the movie site field when I got there. But obviously a bunch of dads tossing with their sons and off the pitcher's mound and
And you said I hate Santori. There's no way I'm
right.
taking him.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Screw that
I
guy.
didn't want to throw him a ball and have him drop it or hurt himself. I don't want that to happen.
Listen.
That was the clip it. Clip it.
Clip it.
Man.
Years ago, I went to Iowa because my uncle and a bunch of his friends were doing a softball team, and they did travel softball among different places. And one of the places they did a tournament out in Iowa. So we went out, saw the tournament, and did a bunch of cool stuff there. And one of the things we did was the Field of Dreams, and we saw the Field
Nice.
of Dreams, and it was cool. And then, like, I always remember, like, they had, I guess, like a gift shop area or whatever it was, where you go inside and they have this, like, little map. And it just, there's all these pins of where people are from that they came to visit the Field of Dreams. And, it was pretty cool. And it's like, I wanted to do the part of Illinois where I'm from, but there was already a pin there. And there was a thumbtack. There's already a thumbtack there, so I couldn't do it. But there's thumbtacks are all over the place from all over America, and it was just cool to see. And the Field of Dreams itself is cool. It's really cool. And I think it's cool that Bengals dad got the chance to go out there to see it and do the game and everything. So that's cool. So yeah, the Field of Dreams is cool. I enjoyed going.
So
Yeah,
if-
All
if
I
I
wanted was an
could-
ear of corn. That's all I wanted.
No, I was not going to steal an ear of corn.
Y'all walk through the corn. Oh, you just grab one.
If I would have been allowed to have any say so in how they orchestrated that game, the three things I'd have taken away. They have a video board in left field. That just took so much ambiance away from the thing. They didn't need a video board. They were trying to pump up music just in between
Yes,
pitches. It
that
should have
didn't-
been organ or calliope music.
Yes.
And the last thing is they shouldn't have. What was it? I think those are probably the two things. I know what it was. They should have had their prices for any of the concessions turned way back to like 1930. I mean, they can limit you on what you buy. Major League Baseball didn't need to profit off of the concessions or whoever was getting the profit off of that. They made so much money off the television rights.
Well, it was $1,000 a ticket.
Right.
What's that?
It was $1,000 a ticket resale.
Well, it was $375 a ticket is what it was.
So is did I hear this right? Is this the last year they're doing it because they're tearing everything down? Because I heard Frank Thomas and some corporate
There
guys
it
bought
is.
I heard something about this might be the last year. I don't
they're
know for
redoing
sure.
like put hotels and all kinds of stuff around there.
Yeah,
Supposedly-
somebody told me Frank Thomas
supposedly-
had something to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be terrible to tear it down. It's such a cool thing. I would love every fan or every team to be represented one time, and just keep it around for 15 years. It would be so cool for all those fans to get to experience their team in that environment.
I heard that they were putting it on hiatus and that they were going to actually create like a baseball complex for little league tournaments to come out.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors out there. I don't know what they're doing. I hope it stays.
The
In
worst
some way,
thing they
shape, or
can
form,
do
I
is
hope
get
it
rid of it.
stays.
The worst thing they can do is get rid of it. I mean, that's
Yep.
like there aren't many things that I get teary-eyed over. The Field of Dreams, the movie, the field itself, that's one of them.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a classic nostalgic thing. I mean, cinematic masterpiece. Everything about it's borderline perfect. I don't know why you would touch it.
Yeah.
And didn't Joey Votto look the part?
Oh,
Oh,
Joey Votto,
yes.
he dressed perfectly. He looked like a player from the 30s or the
Did you
40s.
see the little videos of him like creeping through the corn where he's like,
Yeah.
he was so into it. I was so happy.
Yeah.
that was great. I really enjoyed that. And, it kind of reminded me is that, hockey has their own little version of Field of Dreams is that, hockey originally just started because people just played outside on frozen lakes and ponds and a bunch of other stuff. And then it just grew to where it is today. And the NHL saw that. And every year since like 2008, they have their own like outdoor game where pick two teams
Yeah.
to play in an a game outside. And it's to me, when you bring up the whole Field of Dreams thing, it's just kind of a similar thing where it's just so fun to watch. And it brings that same vibe to just how baseball thing with the Field of Dreams and how hockey started. And like a lot of times, if it's perfect, if it's nice and cold out and just a little bit of snow, it just adds to that perfect outside winter hockey vibe. And it's just great to see. And I'm glad that the Reds got to play in the Field of Dreams. And I'm hoping that someday that the Blue Jackets get to play in their own Winter Classic is what they call their stadium series in their own outdoor hockey game, whether that means they get to be picked as the home team or they get to be picked as the away team. That's something I would like to see, just like how I saw the Reds, my favorite baseball team, play Field of Dreams.
Shoot, a home team in the horseshoe would be awesome.
Got to get Gene Smith on it because he's not done these dumb excuses. Oh, we can't do events because of cold weather and plumbing, but ignoring the fact of all the times he's had football games there in cold weather, lacrosse games there in cold weather.
Good point.
And when Ohio State has won national championships, they had national championship celebrations there in January in cold weather. So
No.
yes, they have done it. So, Gene Smith, tell me the real reason, not the reason that you're saying, because it's hard for you to say we can't do it in cold weather because plumbing, cold weather, but yet you've done all these events at the shoe for years in cold weather. Come to the real reason why you don't want to do it. Because
Kevin's
that's
calling
Kevin's calling people out.
I know. Kevin's
Clip
going
it,
to the jugular
clip it,
right now.
clip it,
No,
clip it. Boom.
it's happening because this past season, the Blue Jackets were in New York to play the Rangers, and they met with NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman. And Sean Corrali, one of the Blue Jackets players, asked Gary Bettman, hey, how come no hockey game outside, Winter Classic? And he basically said, Gary Bettman said, Ohio State. But what he's really saying is it's Gene Smith. It's really a Gene Smith issue because the Blue Jackets and Ohio State work together awesome. It's Gene Smith that's causing the issues with this dumb winter weather plumbing excuses, ignoring the fact that the shoe has had many cold weather events, football and lacrosse and national championship celebrations and all that stuff. So that's really what it is. If Gene Smith gives us the real reason, or Ohio State gets a new AD that's actually open to the idea, that's when it's gonna happen because there's so much positive energy, like the Bengals, that's building for the Blue Jackets.
Well, I didn't think we were going to
Good
talk
points.
Blue Jackets today, but here we are.
We got Kevin.
That's
on
why
the
Kevin's
show.
here.
Kevin's here.
I only brought up the Winter Classic thing because you're talking about the Reds and what they did.
No, it's a good segue. No, I'm with you.
So the one thing I do want to
that hockey has their own version of that.
I do want to springboard off that because I was talking about this with my buddy Jay the other day. Does basketball do anything like a Field of Dreams thing, like hockey does, like NBA or any? Like I know they do like the air hanger thing early on in the year.
Yeah,
it would be cool if they just. I don't know how you would do it, but we could touch on the idea of like get like the Lakers and Celtics together and put them out on the court from like White Men Can't Jump. Be like, all right, you're outside. Like, let's go. Like, let's see what it looks like in street ball. That would be fun as hell. I would watch that game.
With their
It was the bubble.
hats backwards,
Uh-huh.
It was
going
the
up,
bubble
dunking
in
on
Orlando.
people.
That's what
So
they
it's
had.
what?
It
Short
was the bubble in Orlando.
I don't give a shit. I want to see it outside. Let's go.
No, I think that would be cool. Yeah, White Man Can't Jump was one of my favorite freaking movies. Billy Ho, baby.
No, I don't know if you could do it on the street. You might have to put some kind of synthetic wood
Dude,
down.
hell, you can do it in New York at Rucker Park.
Yeah, that would work.
They have all kinds of stuff, summer league stuff there all the time. That would be awesome. Actually, that's a great idea. That'd be cool. That's a historic, playground or whatever. Like Julius Erving, Bill Russell, all those guys have played there before. So that'd be cool to play at Rucker Park.
Yeah, that would be neat. Segue that has nothing to do with what we've been talking about whatsoever.
Who cares? Go for it.
How's our offensive line looking? Everybody getting carted off this week.
Luckily, it wasn't the starters.
What's that?
Lyle Collins is back.
Yeah, great. And we have no depth, so if one of those guys go down, Joey B is going to be protected by a wet paper bag.
I'm sorry. Time out. I've been texted by Santori and Jeff multiple times, like asking questions and stuff. And like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was on the phone to Marissa, so I muted myself. And then I'm like, good Lord, y'all, I am tired. Like, y'all just vibing. I'm going to bounce out. I love y'all.
Love you, Dale.
Right.
Okay.
See you, Dale. We lost Dale. All right.
Well, that was quick.
Who got carted off?
Isaiah Prince.
Isaiah Prince. Way to get carted off. He walked off.
What do we care about him?
He hurt
We
his
don't care
arm.
about him, do we?
Well, we do.
He's not coming on the show. He's just having people, defensive players running to his left, running to his right, bull rushing him over. What do we care if he's hurt?
We do as far as depth. That's about it. I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
I
he's
said,
not, I'd rather put
none of the starters got hurt. So we're
a
good
telephone
there.
pole out there. I mean,
Yeah. No,
he doesn't help us.
none of the starters got hurt, which is good.
As
So
long as the
biggest-
starters don't get hurt, we're all right.
Well, that's the problem. If starters get hurt, that's what Satori's saying.
Sorry, we're in deep shit.
but we're in
trouble.
deep shit if you put Prince out there. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl. He's not somebody to lose your mind over. Bring
I'm
Quentin
not
Spain
losing my
back.
mind over it, but if he was the best they could get in case of an emergency, the emergency just got worse.
Well, he's not the best they can get. Where's Quentin Spain?
On the couch.
Yeah. Where is Quentin Spain?
I
He
don't
played
know.
really well last year.
Well, I'll put it this way. They coached around 4 bad offensive linemen last year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they only have to coach around 1 this year, the left guard. Hopefully, and and we'll find out a lot. I think Sunday against the Giants, where Cordell Volson is going to get the majority of the snaps because Jackson Carman has COVID, so he's not going to play. So it's Cordell Volson's time to shine, in my opinion.
Who's that?
We got a little fella.
That's Mason
Watch
They
your
said,
mouth,
"Well,
Dave.
You remember
hey, man, how
Iceman?
you doing?
in the middle.
Iceman.
What's up, brother?
They said, "How you doing?"
Right, good.
Parkour.
Parkour.
Parkour. He said.
Fuck off.
Parkour.
Your dad's getting 1,000 Twitter followers, and then he's shaving his beard, and then it's
Yes.
gonna look all
Yeah.
really cool and stuff, all grown out.
Kevin just said that I'm trying to get 1,000 Twitter followers and then gonna shave my beard off,
He's
all
gonna-
my facial hair.
I'll even follow him if it makes him shave
wait.
this off.
You don't follow him yet?
Now? How does your son
Yeah.
not follow you now?
I'm just saying.
Well, he's not on Twitter.
Probably a good
would
thing.
follow
Yeah, he
him.
said if he was, he would. Oh,
Parkour!
Parkour.
Parkour!
they're taking over. All right, guys, say bye.
Bye.
The big
Love you guys.
I thought I had a funny tweet about Jackson Carman today, and nobody liked it.
Bengals cap. That should be the goal, James. Bengals cap.
Right, Bengals captain. Yeah. What was your tweet, Santori?
It said that Jackson Carman got COVID. And I said, how? He hasn't been near anybody in a year and a half.
Oh, that's
And
good.
you talk about me.
Well,
Well,
when someone's on the back burner and their career's about over, you can kind of get away with it.
look, if you're
Hey,
bad, you're
Bengal
bad.
Dad, it doesn't fall far from the tree.
I'm not
Sorry.
worried about getting Jackson Carman on the show.
I'm not worried about getting AM on the show.
All right. Well, we'll just
That's
let
right.
You're run out.
I like angry Bengal Dad. I like it. Need more of it.
Angsty
Well,
Bengal
if
Dad.
we started having shows at about 4:30 on Sundays, there'd be some angle. I get angry when they win half the time.
Oh,
I
there
don't
are
like
times
when
where
they win.
we can be up by like 17 points at halftime, and he's like, fucking bullshit. If they'd have just made that last field goal, they have like 20 and I could relax. And I'm like, we are up 17 against Alabama Tech. We're fine.
I understand.
No, this is not okay.
It's not okay.
Bengal
hold
Dad
on.
wants to destroy everybody.
Here's a good one. Miles, did you ever go to Camden Park in Huntington? Okay. For those of you that don't know, Miles, yes, I have. Or Miles, I'm Miles.
You're
Jesus
Miles.
Christ.
Forgot his
Oh,
name.
God.
Long day. Crypt Keeper. Yes. So I think he's kind of out near Marshall. Camden Park is the most raggedy ass looking wannabe Coney Island theme park in the history of man. And they have a roller coaster. It's either the Little Dipper or the Big Dipper, and it should be condemned. Like that thing is worse than the Pepsi coaster at like Coney Island. It is rattles, it shakes, it is not good. I don't know how anybody gets on that and is safe. So yes, I've been there, watched it, wouldn't ride it because I cared about my personal safety on that one. I've done a lot of stupid shit. I'm not riding the Dipper. So yeah,
Sounds like you're calling out Crypt Keeper.
no, I'm not calling him out. Maybe he likes it, maybe he doesn't. If he likes it, you know, to each his own. He's a braver man than I am. That's a scary ass looking roller coaster. That is one windstorm away from being a pile of firewood.
Oh,
Man, we got
That's
off the
tough.
rails. So we like angry.
Well,
Dad.
You know,
I was going to ask. I saw Iceman's attire. I was going to ask about Joey Votto's shoulder. What do you guys think about that?
So I'll start on this one. I have been more than critical on Joey Votto over the last entirety of his career. I was probably well behind the curve on the whole on base percentage thing. Because if you remember, he came out 2010. He was a slugger. I think he hit 37 home runs, 103 RBIs, whatever it was. Hit like 327, whatever, just astronomical, great numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And then shortly after that, it shifted to I'm going to get on base. And it drove me fucking insane because I was like, they're not paying you $25 million to be an on base guy. I like on base guys, they're important, but I wasn't necessarily seeing what he was trying to do. And I was very, very critical, and I've been critical for the last probably 10 years or so. And then I hear that, I don't know if he tore it in 15 or just hurt it, and it tore sometime since, but he's played at a pretty damn high level over the last 5-6 years. I mean, he finished second in MVP voting a couple years ago, and he's had a torn
17.
rotator cuff?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Tough.
If I sprain my ankle, I can't do shit for a week, and this guy's playing Major League Baseball at the highest level at a position that, I mean, even if it's just hitting, you have to rely on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And he's playing at that level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where Ashley and I will watch, and, you know, he'll make a tweak to his swing and he'll hit 8 home runs in 10 days. And you're like, holy shit. Like, how does a 38-year-old, 39-year-old man just make that minor adjustment and go
Dude,
off?
he calls homers. He's done it twice this year.
He's called the home run twice in like the last year. Like, he knows what the fuck he's
Well,
doing.
he
He's
called
doing
it at the Field of Dreams. He called
and
it.
he's doing it on a bum shoulder.
Yeah.
What would this guy be like if he was healthy?
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll find out
just-
next year.
It's incredible. Truly. I never even considered that he might be hurt. I just thought he might be getting older. And now it's like, oh, I'm hurt. And I've been hurt for 7 years. What?
Yeah.
I text my buddy and we've ripped on him a lot over the last couple of years. I was like, I think I take back every bad thing I've ever said about Joey Votto because it's holy shit. Look at this.
I see that.
Joey Votto is a machine from Ashley Mercurio. I don't know who that is, but we'll pump that one up there. I'm going to be in trouble for saying I don't know who that is, but you know. Woo. But no, like truly he is. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I'll let somebody else talk now.
Well, I'll talk real quick. I got to be at work at 3 a.m., so I got to get bounced too. So
Oh my God, everyone's leaving us.
Nah.
sorry. If you start like 8 o'clock,
Kevin's
it
like,
been up for
I'm
like
not
an
going
hour.
anywhere.
You know, Bengal Dad was late and having fun, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'll be
Yep.
on again sometime.
See ya. Thanks.
See you,
Yeah,
Iceman.
And then there were 4.
Oh, now more of us. Ooh.
Yes, yes.
Not
No,
a great thing sometimes.
Joey Votto, I have his jersey. He's one of my favorite players for the Reds. He's fun to watch. And him, now knowing what we know, him basically playing with a screwed up shoulder for 5-6 seasons and doing pretty good at it is just, like Santori said, it's just like, what? Like amazing. Like it's just truly something good. You know, Gregory Campbell, a hockey player in the playoffs, he took a puck to the leg and it broke his leg. But in the middle of the play, he just kept going and he played like it was nothing ever happened. And like as soon as the Boston Bruins got the puck out of their own end, he made a line change and that was it. And then like he got the leg fixed. So it was kind of like a similar thing of what you said with Joey Votto is Gregory Campbell did, a thing where he played with a broken leg during the game and it was like nothing never happened. And then he got the leg fixed. And then shortly after that, he plays for the Blue Jackets. And all my, the Blue Jackets fans that I follow on Twitter are like, oh my God, we got that guy. Hype, excited. So, like, credit to you, Joey Votto, for playing that well with a bum shoulder. It's truly amazing. And it's something. It's really cool. So,
Kevin, I got a story I got to tell you. So remind me when they're done giving me their Joey Votto takes. I think you'll like this.
Yeah.
Okay, Bengal Dad. Okay, you've been critical on Joey too. I've heard a lot of things.
I've been hot and cold on Joey Votto for a long time. I agree wholeheartedly with you. When he got that big contract and turned into a leadoff hitter, it pissed me off because that's not why he got the contract. Somebody got into his head and made him think that it was wonderful just to get on base, walking and taking all these close pitches on 3-1 when he could have been driving the ball. Something happened to him, obviously, 2 or 3 years ago, where all of a sudden he metamorphosized himself and became what he once was. I don't know what happened there, but I love that latter version of Joey Votto. Now I'm going to say something. Thankfully, there's not a lot of people that watch this right now. But I'm going to say something very negative. And again, please don't take this out of context because I am nothing but
Love you.
a softball player, a over 30 men's league baseball player. That's what I do.
Over 30.
But I've had 2 torn rotator cuffs, but they've been on my right shoulder. I'm a right-handed hitter. It does not affect your swing. You don't feel it. I could play with a rotator cuff torn for 10 years. You feel it when you throw. He doesn't throw left-handed. That's why he was able to play for 6 or 7 years pretty darn effectively. I don't know why he waited this long to get it done. I mean, his excuse was, I can't sleep at night. I roll on it and it hurts. He's never said anything that it hurt playing baseball.
Right.
But if it was his right shoulder as a left-handed hitter, and when you follow through and extend, that's what you can't do with a rotator cuff. You can't extend, but you don't extend your back shoulder when you're hitting. Not trying to be negative, just trying to be real about it.
I mean, there's truth to that, but we also don't know the extent of the tear.
We don't know the extent of it. If it was that bad,
Right.
he couldn't have done what he did last year.
Well, right. And like he said, it's been something I've been able to manage. It may have been something that, like you said, was fine. And then he's done something to it this year where he just can't do that anymore.
Well, I think in the 60-game season, they were in it and they went to the playoffs. Last year, they were in it until September. This is the first year in the last 3 or 4 years where they have no shot in the world with about 50 or 60 or whatever amount of games it is to go, 40 games.
161.
I'm sorry?
161.
No, I'm talking about how many are left in the season.
No, that's what I was joking like that was when
you.
they were out of it.
Hey, they
Sorry.
started off 2-2. They were okay.
I know they did. I know. I'm just making a joke.
But this is the first time because it's going to take a minimum of 6 months for him to even begin to be a semblance of what he should be. So it's the first time he could really shut it down in August over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. I think he chose the right time because he knows there's no reason in gutting it out, having the surgery in October and then not coming back until May or June of what could be his final season of his career.
Well, let's face it. The way his contract is set up last year, next year is probably his last year.
Absolutely.
If you want to have that last ride, you better do it now. You know, this is
I saw somebody make a comment on Twitter like it was earth-shattering. They said, breaking news, Joey Votto will make the All-Star game next year. He's going to make the All-Star game because he's Joey Votto. Just like Albert Pujols did. It's just going to be that little swan song thing is what's going to happen. So he'll be healthy enough to play in the All-Star game, hopefully.
Since James.
I don't know if you can see that.
I see it. 2010 MVP. Yep.
That's his MVP bobblehead.
Yep.
I've always been a Joey Votto apologist. Always loved his game. Always loved the way he.
Cincy James.
Okay,
You're
am I
frozen.
back?
You're frozen.
Am I back?
Kind
Well,
of.
you're still frozen.
You're
Not exactly.
You're
Back now?
You're doing this business.
you're not smooth, but you're not frozen. You're like a slush.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try it and we'll see what happens. But I've always loved his approach to the game, and I don't know. There's the saying that goes out there: if Joey Votto doesn't swing, it's not a strike. He's got the best eye in baseball. And that's a talent, and that is, you see so many people that can't identify a pitch. He can identify a pitch, and he knows what's a strike and what's not. Now, he's had some awkward swings every once in a while, but everybody does. But I was hurt when I found out that he was hurt. That just because behind Barry Larkin, he was my favorite player. Barry Larkin was my, growing up, I'm 39 years old. Barry Larkin, I grew up with that coming through. I was 5 years old when he was a rookie. So grew Barry Larkin, and then coming into my own, Joey Votto and I are the same age. And I'm gone again. Am I back?
We hear you.
It's easy to hear you. You just
Okay.
copy.
We got the audio fine.
Okay. It keeps spinning for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but I'm the same age as Joey Votto, basically. I'm just a touch older, but like months. And I wish I could do what Joey Votto could do. I wish. Never could do it. But he's hurt. He's going to come back. He's getting it fixed. And I would not be surprised. I don't want to say he's going to have a renaissance next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's a 270 hitter instead of a 210 hitter.
Sounds about right. I don't think he's ever going to hit 300.
At 39 going into 40, he's always going to get you walks. He's always going to get on base.
No, I think I agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't want to be misunderstood about Joey Votto. The last 2 or 3 years, just the fact that he's come out of his shell and the fact that he has been so outspoken, so outrageous when he hits these home runs, and he's having fun. Somebody got a hold of him and said, "Hey, buddy, life's too short. This isn't going to last forever." And all of a sudden, he started recognizing there's fans in the stands. I don't really think he even recognized that early in his career. He has been one of my favorite players to watch the last 2 or 3 years. He frustrated the hell out of me between probably 2011 and probably 17. I couldn't stand the fact that he was acting like it was so important just to get on base and not make an out. Yeah, and no, he's never going to hit 300 again because now he's realized that this is the launch angle, and he's realized that it's all about hitting home runs and the power and driving the ball. That's far more important than hitting 300.
Barrel percentage, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the slugging percentage is far more important than the batting average or even the on-base percentage. But no, I like Joey Votto. He's changed my mind about him from what it was 3 or 4 years ago. So no, don't get me wrong about him. I'm just talking a little bit about we're talking about the rotator cuff. And I'm sure it was hard to play with, but if it would have been his left shoulder, he never could have done it.
Right. Kevin.
Yes.
Let me tell you this story.
Okay.
You were talking about the guy that got hit by the puck, and you said Boston Bruins.
Yes.
Anytime I hear Boston Bruins, I get triggered, and I think Dad knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Disney.
yeah, so it was like 2009, somewhere around there, right?
Whatever Darrell Revis was, all of that in a bag of chips.
About 09, because you know that was the whole Revis Island thing.
Yeah, right in there.
We went to Disney World in February, whatever year that was, or around that time. And that was when Stump the Schwab was still a really big show. Kevin, I don't know if you know what that one is or not. So
It was an ESPN game show.
It was an ESPN game show where you would basically test your sports knowledge, just trivia, against this incredibly obese man that sat in a chair and ate chicken wings. He just knew everything about sports.
Okay.
Wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Right. And they, put him on a dolly and propped him up on a stage in Disney World. And there were 3 teams going up against the Schwab. And it was Darrell Revis. It was D'Angelo Williams, who at the time was the running back for Carolina, and Chad Johnson. And I was in line wearing all my Chad Johnson stuff. And they were kind of like, okay, we're going to pick contestants to go live on Stump the Schwab. And I'm like, I am doing everything I can, like looking at the camera, like, I'm here for Chad. I'm here for Chad. Like, I came from Cincinnati. Let's do this. And they came up to me and they were like, hey, if you get this question right, you'll be on with Chad for Stump the Schwab. And I was like, fuck yeah. Like, I'm so ready. I'm so excited. And the freaking question was, who's the head coach of the Boston Bruins? I was like, I don't watch hockey. The next person got the question, who's the shortstop for the Yankees? Are you kidding me? Those are not comparable questions. I sat there with my little notepad in the back scouring. I got like 18 questions in a row right, just keeping a tally. I had to kick the Schwab's ass that day. And I'd have got a hug from Chad, and my life would have been perfect. But no, I got a damn hockey question. Tap the reason I'm doing this podcast, so if I ever get tripped up again, I'll be good to go. I'll know the hockey podcast now. I'll be like, you know what? I know who the coach is. We're good to go now. But no, we'll never be happy again. That was my opportunity to shine bright like a diamond, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't talked about 2 cool things that have happened in Bengal land over the last few days. Now, the one is obvious. So I'm going to get away from the obvious one.
Ken Riley.
Yeah, that's the obvious. Mine is my football god, Joe Burrow, on the cover of Sports Illustrated. God bless Joe Burrow. I only say God bless for one other athlete in the world. That was Pete Rose. But Joe Burrow is all that in a bag of chips, and now he's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I have called, and my wife has called at least 10 stores today because they were supposed to release that Sports Illustrated. And when you call these stores, no, it's not here yet. Why is everybody calling about this? So everybody's calling to try to gather up all these Sports Illustrated. They have Joe.
It's amazing to me that some people that carry sports stuff that aren't necessarily sports stores, when people will call all excited about like, oh my God, you got this. And they're like, why do you guys care so much? It's like, do you guys not understand
right?
Like who Joe Burrow is? Like that's our savior, Jesus Christ right now. How did you miss this? Even if you don't like sport, God bless my wife. She's one of the nicest people on the planet, and she watches as much football and film with me as I ask her to. She can tell you what cover 2 is. She can tell you what cover 3 is. If you told her, I don't know, Kenny Pickett was down the street, she'd still know who it is. You're in Cincinnati and you don't know who Joe Burrow is?
Yeah.
What?
That's kind of weird.
This entire city was orange for like 6 months. Did you miss it? I don't get that.
Okay, on to the other obvious one.
There is a link floating around Twitter where you can buy the Joe Burrow Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I think you can buy for $14.75. I think is what it is.
It's an odd price.
It's $14.75.
Right.
But we got the
shipping, $9.99 plus shipping.
We got the Rattler.
Haas! Where did you get it for $9.99?
That's a good
Ashley
price.
says, I am pretty awesome like that crying laughing face.
Okay, yes, put them in. Ken Riley, the Rattler. I hope this
Jesus,
means
James,
he's officially
what'd you
going
do?
in. I know we have to wait till January, but he should be in now. It's just, again, it's a shame that it's a shame you put a guy in when he passed
Enjoy
away,
it.
when he can't take it in. I hate that.
Yeah, that's what that's what baseball did, because I live in Illinois, by Chicago suburbs.
Yeah, Ron Santo.
Yep, Ron Santo was about to say is
Mhm.
all my family, most of my family and friends love the Cubs,
Yep.
especially Ron Santo, and they did the same. They did what they did to Ken Riley is what they did to Ron Santo. It's like, man, he's a good baseball player, one of the best players that the Cubs have ever had in their history, and he should have been in earlier. But when he died in 2010, in 2011, that's when they put him in there, and that's when they had his wife there accept it, give a speech, and do the whole thing. And it's okay, you included the wife, and that's nice and everything. But it would have been nice to have Ron Santo do it there himself, where he could have actually taken it himself and do the speech and thank everyone.
Yeah, where he could have felt it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have
I'm
felt
sure the family still appreciates it, and there's some closure there, but it's a personal lifetime achievement award.
Yeah.
If you were going to put him in 2011, you should have put him in 2009.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's if you were going to put Ken Riley in the Hall of Fame in the 2023 class, I mean, I was talking to Ashley about this just to put it in perspective. He started his career before Anthony Munoz, did he not?
Who
I
you talking
believe
about?
so.
Ken Riley, because he
Oh my
retired
God!
in '83.
Ken Riley started in like 71.
He started in '69.
Yeah.
Was he 69?
He was a '60s Bengal. He
Okay.
was one of almost the original Bengals. How does that guy play before Anthony Munoz and get in decades after Anthony Munoz? That's not falling through the cracks. That's falling into an abyss. That's neglect by the Hall of Fame. That's
Well,
not.
The crazy thing about his career is he was a quarterback. In college, he was drafted. He was a quarterback in college. And when he got to the Bengals, Paul Brown said, we're going to turn you into a defensive back. And then he winds up being a great a stellar defensive back.
I think he was number 3 in interceptions all time when he retired.
Probably number 4. There's only been one player now since
when he retired, yeah.
1983. That was Rod Woodson. Got 71 picks.
Still.
But Rod Woodson got picks. Again, they started throwing the ball more and more and more, so you're going to have more opportunities. It's crazy that nobody else has 65-plus picks the way the balls are thrown all over the field anymore. He was great.
I mean, he's literally you talk about ball hawks and turnover machines. He's the poster child for it.
And he had that textbook, the receiver leaping in the air, and he hits him with his shoulder in the hip.
He'd hit the shit out of you.
He wasn't
flip
just every player. That was awesome.
It's not just a finesse guy who's playing in phase like the jerk for the Cowboys who only likes to cover on deep balls or whatever the hell he's doing. Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, I mean, Diggs gives up 5,000 yards a year and picks off 20 passes and acts like he's the best corner ever. I mean,
yeah,
he's got what Diggs just did. He's got to do for the next 7 years to come close.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous to think about.
Well,
and Riley came up and
I'm glad he's in.
Out of you.
I'm glad he's in.
I'm glad he's in, but my God, do they got some more work to do?
Yeah, it's a formality.
Yeah, I mean, the
now, right? He's got to get 80% of the vote, but it's basically a formality.
There's one guy in the history of Hall of Fame voting that got to this point and didn't get the 80% vote.
Yeah.
One guy,
and then he got in 4 years later.
10 years ago, Dick Stenfel. Yeah, 4 years later he got in.
There's 100% correlation that Ken Riley will be in at this point. I'm not worried.
I don't think there's any way in the world Kenny Anderson doesn't get in moving forward. Now that Riley's in, I think Riley finally. I think it just kind of cracked the ice.
Well, did you see what the Hall of Fame posted on their Twitter account when Riley got in?
No.
Well, they kind of posted the accolades, and they're like, oh, one All-Pro, which is a shame. That's an insult in itself that he only had one All-Pro. And they're like 65 career interceptions. And then the last one said Bengals Ring of Honor inductee. They care about that shit. We always kind of heard that, if the Bengals do the Ring of Honor, we might listen a little bit. Respect your own players. We might respect them too. Ring of Honor's on there. Next year, somebody's in the Hall of Fame, even puts it on his resume that he's a Hall of Famer for the Bengals, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, if that's really all it took, we got a lot of guys getting ready to go on that list and a lot of guys that are overdue. So, I should be expecting quite a few Bengals going in over the next 10 to 15 years, if that's truly the case.
Mm-hmm. And, if the Bengals do win the Super Bowl, Ken Riley's the type of guy that you wish was around to see that, much like how, for Ron Santo, he was probably one of the biggest Cubs fans / homers / representatives that you would have loved to see him alive when the Cubs finally won the World Series in 2016 after 100+ years. And for so many of my family and friends who grew up watching the Cubs, and they had so many good teams over the years that for whatever reason, they just couldn't get it done. And then for them to finally do it, it just meant so much to them. And it probably would have meant something so much to Ron Santo. And I would have loved to see him do it, much like how if Ken Riley was still around, if the Bengals do win the Super Bowl, it'd probably mean a lot to him, much like how I'm thinking like, man, I really hope they do it when Ken Anderson is still here and a bunch of these other guys, so that they see it, because I know they had those good teams in the 80s and they tried to win and they almost got it. They didn't do it, but it would just mean so much. And just this past season, there was a small sample size. We saw what the Bengals did and what it meant to Cincinnati. Just so crazy and positive energy just going all over Cincinnati. I may live in Illinois, but I could see it when I was watching the Bengals on TV or on social media, all the Bengals stuff that I follow. I could feel that positive energy. It was great to see. So hopefully it happens so that these guys experience the Bengals winning the Super Bowl and what it feels like.
There's an inside joke there that we're laughing about. Here, I'll get Bengal Dad in trouble here. I'll tell the world what it is.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to say who came up with it, but you definitely helped spread the nickname.
No, let's keep that one off air.
Oh,
Here. Let me give my point about the Ring of Honor and all that stuff real quick.
Yeah.
I'll save you, Bengal Dad.
Thank you.
So in the next few years, probably 2-3 years, I think we're going to have 4 Bengals probably go in the Hall of Fame. We're going to have Ken Riley, which is now, Willie Anderson, 3, and Lamar Parrish. I could see Lamar Parrish getting it
Really?
a little bit in a few years.
Yeah.
He's the next one up after Willie.
There's an argument Lamar Parrish may have been a better player than Ken Riley. There truly is, as much as that sounds sacrilege right now.
He was fun to watch.
But, he also was unbelievably dynamic in the returning. He was almost Devin Hester before Devin Hester was a thing.
The one they compare him to is Deion Sanders.
Okay, fine.
That's what he was like. That is what he was like. He wasn't as fast as Deion.
Yeah.
He had all the
also
moves.
wasn't running on turf like Deion either.
What's that?
He also wasn't running on AstroTurf like Deion.
No, he wasn't.
I guess 4 because Willie Anderson. I think he's going to get in.
I think of all the
this
people
year,
named Willie Anderson's probably the closest lock because Willie might get in this year.
Ken Anderson was close with the senior committee, so
what was it in 16 seasons in that run as the Bengals right tackle? He gave up like 10 sacks or something ridiculously low. It was.
I thought it was 18 sacks in 16 seasons. I thought is what it was.
Like one,
but it's stupid.
Less than one a year.
Yeah.
Bobby Hart did that on a Thursday. Like, Jesus.
Bobby Hart. Oh my.
that was in practice.
Right.
Yes.
But still, like that's, and he was going against guys like Reggie White. The guys that he was fending off are in the Hall of Fame. It's not like he was going against some schlep. Like he was going against that era of pass rushers was really, really good. And I don't think people give that era a lot of credit. I mean, there was like 7 or 8 Hall of Famers he played on a regular basis that never got home. Never got home.
Never. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was manned up against James Harrison all the time too.
Yeah, I mean he had a ridiculously productive career, and I unfortunately it's the same thing. Well, he didn't really win. He was in Cincinnati. Well, I don't really care who he was with. Look who he had to play. What was his job? His job was to protect the quarterback.
Yep.
Name me a right tackle between 1985 and 2015 that did a better job at protecting the quarterback than Willie Anderson.
Can't.
You can't. For roughly 30 to 40 years, he was the pinnacle of right tackle pass protection.
Gold standard, yeah.
You can't find anyone. He even came in, or Pro Football Focus came in toward the very end of his career. So you can go back and look at the last 2 to 3 years of Willie Anderson's career on Pro Football Focus. It's like 90. It's elite grades the entire time.
Stud.
I mean, there's an argument he's one of the best right tackles in the history of football. Truly. I'm not trying to overstate that. I'm not trying to be a homer about it. But if you just look at the pure pass protection numbers, not to mention he was blocking all those yards for Corey Dillon and Rudy Johnson. I mean, he wasn't a bad run blocker either. I mean, he truly was exactly what you look for in a right tackle. He didn't really get penalties. I mean, he was long, he was lanky, he was powerful, and he was agile. He was just about a prototypical right tackle, and he did it for like 20 years.
Yeah. And one of my favorite video games growing up was NFL Street, and is basically, you know it is, but it's 7-on-7 game, and you pick your players' offense. Basically, you pick your players, you get like 7 guys, and those are the guys that play offense and defense. And it's kind of like a mishmash of different players, and it's just real fun. And then there's different places you can pick to play and all fun stuff. And one of the players I always picked was Willie Anderson because, well, I like the Bengals, but I knew that he was good at blocking. When I played, I wanted to have some good offensive line play to help block, and he was the guy that I always made sure to pick when I played NFL Street. He was one of my guys.
No, I mean
love it.
He was awesome. I mean, it was one of those things where I started watching kind of toward the middle of Willie's career, and I didn't really get into film or anything until a few years ago. And someone had mentioned Willie Anderson, and I was like, I liked him as a Bengal. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. I went back and looked at the numbers and the tape and the film and who he went against. I was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, this is what you look for. That's the guy. If you could tell me that there was someone going to be in the NFL draft next year and they were going to have the exact level of career that Willie Anderson had, if it's not a quarterback, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick. People would just race to the podium for that. And that's not even a question. It's too important. So, I mean, that's enough on that. I mean, we can keep harping on Willie all we want, but
and it's funny they're learning that from the Bengals. They're learning that to protect the quarterback is what you got to do. 70 sacks is not what you want.
No,
got to protect your QB.
That, to me, that is an amazement that the Bengals won that game. Joe Burrow getting sacked 9 times against Tennessee, and yet they still found a way to win it. And it's just like, wow, just awesome.
I watched that game 2 nights ago, and every time he took a sack, I was like, how the hell did he just keep going?
Yeah.
He's getting up, yeah.
He doesn't get rattled.
Well, and the other thing is he gets up and he's never demonstrative toward his offensive line.
He doesn't show.
He doesn't show him up.
Well, they asked him about that in an interview, and I think James Rapine asked him, or Ben Baby, somebody asked him, somebody local, and he was like, they're sticking their body out there for me. He's like, that's why would I show up to people trying to protect me? Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want, but they're sticking their neck out trying to make sure I stay clean.
Yeah.
It's like they are literally risking their body to make sure he can try and go. Whether you're good or not, that's not an easy. It's a very thankless job. It's one of those jobs where someone knows your name. It's not necessarily a good thing. So I mean, you don't
like the referees. Yeah,
you don't show up your offensive line. You just don't.
That's why these quarterbacks get them these lavish gifts every year. It's the O-line getting these
Studded
Rolex watches and all kinds of stuff. I saw one guy get I think he gave him some kind of souped up golf carts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they appreciate that, because if they don't do their job, this dude's on his ass.
Shot in the world if they don't at least try to do their job.
Right. Try.
It's why it's frustrating with the Bengals. And it's like, I know this is difficult, but guys, like, you've had 10 years to fix this. Like, shouldn't be taking this.
Yeah, it had been a while. Yeah.
I mean, they've been trying to fix this since Witt left, and that was 2016, and we're going on 7 years now. This is like the Reds trying to fix the bullpen. What the hell are you doing?
This thing all started to break when Rich Bram got hurt. That's when the dam
Cleveland in 06.
That was that game against Cleveland, wasn't it?
We were kicking their ass, and Bram went down, and Perry went down, and Pollock went down. It was like we lost half the team in the second half.
Freaking Marvin Lewis leaves all his starters in, and he's up by 20 points or whatever it was. Oh,
yeah.
Golly.
It's tough.
Oh.
It is. But I think this was a good show tonight. We even got Crypt Keeper's attention, which he found me, and I'm a little scared. He typically finds me on other shows and makes fun of me, but now he's here. So
he's coming for you.
I'm a little scared now. And apparently I've talked enough about Huntington, West Virginia, that we have some kind of likeness in common. So this is not good for me.
Hey, real quick.
Tudor's Biscuits?
Tudor's Biscuits. If you are still here, Tudor's Biscuits, like, just put a thumbs up in the chat. I don't even know anybody who dislikes Tudor's Biscuits.
I've never eaten there. I just remember passing the building.
Oh my God, that is
Well,
so real quick, how many people out of the four of us, how many people are going to the Tim Krumrie bobblehead event in Fairfield?
There it is.
Saturday.
We like Tudors.
I didn't know there was one.
Yep. On Saturday, starting at noon at Heirloom Framing in Fairfield. It's on Nillis Road.
Okay.
He will be there. He will be signing the bobbleheads, and I think it's $75 for a bobblehead, and that includes the signature on it. And then you can get other things autographed for $10 a piece. And I will be there. I'm going to get his autograph. I'm going to get the bobblehead. I've already got the first two in the series of the 10 Bengal Legends. It's Cincy Bob's if you're looking for them on Twitter or
Cincy
Facebook. Cincy Bob's. It's not me. It's not affiliated with me. It's Josh Huffman. That's the guy that does it. But it's pretty incredible. And next year they're coming out with a Chris Henry bobblehead, which is going to be pretty awesome. That's going to be part of their Legends series next year. So check them out. I'll be there. I think Tony the Tiger's going to be there, getting pictures, doing all that kind of stuff, So check them out.
I'll be standing in line at Paycor Stadium to get my rings as the season ticket holder.
Nice.
So I'll be doing that between 10 and 11. And then what's that?
I was going to say, I just dropped the $300 for the deposit for 2 tickets for the season tickets.
Yeah.
I just did that last night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's that?
You're being
we're going to
summoned.
get a song tonight.
Oh. See, he's watched before. He knows.
I think the new guests need to sing.
Well, before they start
Of course,
singing,
we'll never
us off
probably
here,
get another guest on.
Kevin's gonna end up being sound like Beyonce, and you're never gonna see him
Hold on.
again.
Wait a second. Okay, Santori, you were asking about getting a tattoo. What you should get, right? And I said he should get Son of Bengal Dad.
There's
No?
no reaction there.
Well, I
Nothing?
just got a text from somebody that said, "Are you enjoying my comments?" And if they're Crypt Keeper, I'm gonna be a little paranoid here because it's one of my best friends. And if this has been him for the last year and a half, we're gonna have to have a talk.
Oh, that would be awesome. But okay,
Yeah.
since you
that.
rudely interrupted me. No,
Jay,
I said Son of Bengal Dad is what he should get as his tattoo, and I feel like that's a win. I don't, or SOB. You could even do SOB
SOB
if you want, but
right across the chest. SOB.
right there.
What do you think, Dad? Will you can I go get a tattoo?
Will you co-sign that?
I'm not going to co-sign any tattoos. I can't stop you from doing whatever you want to do. I mean, you got that stupid beard. I don't like that either.
Oh my god. He's been trying to get me. He's been trying to get me to shave the beard since I was a freshman in college. You have always hated my beard, Dad.
You look good on your wedding day. You look good on my wedding day, and short of that, not so good.
I had a $100 haircut and beard treatment. Do you understand how broke I would be to look good every day? If you want to start funding me to make me so I can genuinely look suave, as my Twitter handle says, no, that was brutal. I sat in that chair like this for like an hour and a half.
Well, segueing back to Cincy James, I think I need to try to find a way to march my way over to Fairfield after the Bengal ring thing. My sister, who has kind of like given up on the Bengals, unfortunately,
Debbie,
she was for the longest time in love with Tim Krumrie. That was her all-time favorite Bengal. But,
apparently I think they're gonna have photos on hand that you could purchase for $10 and get that autographed. So, that could be a good thing there. But I think it's 12-3. So it's going to go for a little bit. They've got
time.
Yeah, they've got 288 bobbleheads is what they're selling. And with the Ken Riley one, it's funny, like they didn't sell out that day when they did it in Fairfield. But here in the past week, they've been inundated with people calling, texting, messaging. Do you still have the Ken Riley bobblehead? Because the announcement was coming. So
sure.
They're going to be out of that now.
Why 288?
I knew that's what you were laughing at.
I don't know. I think that's what they're limited to.
That number out of.
I think that's what they're limited to.
Yes.
And I 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months. Yes.
I asked.
You know what that's a reference to, Cincy James?
It's in a movie.
Madagascar.
Yes, Madagascar.
Yes.
Yes. That's the Penguins.
Whenever we hear a weird ass range, we always go 6 to 9 months. Where'd you get that?
Yeah. But I asked for the number of Ken Riley. I asked for number 13, and they said no. That is reserved for that player. Like they give it to that. So they gave it to Ken Riley the second. Yeah, so that number is reserved for it. So I was going to ask for number 69 for Tim Krumrie.
Okay, so
can't get that one either.
Well, segueing here.
Go Bears.
Dad's got the best answer for this one, but I want to hear yours and Kevin's answer.
All right,
it's the weirdest thing you've ever had autographed. Because we win. I already know we win.
Oh.
Weirdest thing autographed.
Yeah.
Well, I've had multiple napkins autographed. I got an Anthony Munoz autograph on a Bob Evans napkin. And I've got a $20 bill autographed by Chris Collinsworth. I've also got a napkin autographed by Hal Morris.
I'm gonna keep shaking my head until you hit something that I think
I know. I'm trying to think. Oddest thing autographed. Do my tits count?
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke. Or do you want to see it?
I don't know. Is it a tattoo? Like we can.
No.
I mean,
No, I had Dale autograph it right here.
Okay. Kevin, what about you? Anything odd autographed?
yeah. So I've had years ago when I saw the Reds play, went to a Reds game, and I didn't have anything like with me, but like Gapper was signing autographs, so I had Gapper sign my shirt, and like, it's cool. It's cool. But in terms of like actual like autograph stuff, like when Cam Atkinson played for the Blue Jackets, I have an autograph picture of him. My dad got it for my birthday a couple years ago, so that's hanging up. I have an autographed Ann Anderson picture. Let's see.
Okay.
Autograph. There's other stuff too.
I think you stumped them.
I don't really.
I do have
stuff.
I do have a weird thing. It's a little weird. So my grandparents, they built their house at the same time as Joe Nuxall on the same street, 3 houses down. So, there's all kinds of stories with that. But basically, I got to go up to his house and swim in his pool and hang out. And it was really cool. I was like 10, 11 years old. So at the time, I didn't really appreciate it. But I have a picture of him, and he's got a towel. Like he had just got out of the pool. He's got a towel over his stomach because he said, I'm not getting a picture with my big ass stomach hanging out. So he put this towel over it, and it's me on one side, my sister on the other, and he ended up autographing it later.
Okay.
It's weird.
That's pretty cool, though.
That's cool. Now I've got something that I've had autographed.
I'm ready.
Mine's a little odd, but it made me laugh. Dad's got one that's a little bit more sentimental, but I guarantee nobody else has ever done this before. It's just so awkward. So, Dad, I'm sure when you left, you went to go get it or get some semblance.
We don't have that anymore. It's been erased. The autograph is no longer there.
So, for some background, you guys know about my brother Kyle.
Right.
Kyle has a comfort toy that he carries with him at all times, and it's a little plastic sea turtle. It's about, I don't know, about this big.
About this big.
Yeah.
There it is.
We had went to training camp.
The turtle.
That's Ted the turtle that Kyle carries with him everywhere.
Oh, I love
we
it.
had went to training camp, and I got like a Jeremy Hill jersey signed. He got like a football signed, and AJ Green walked up, and Dad was like, "Will you sign my turtle?" And AJ Green was
like, and he signed the turtle. So we have about 7 of these. This is not the one, but he did sign the turtle.
So I think it was AJ Green, Andy Dalton, and Jeremy Hill.
I thought you said AJ McCarron.
No, AJ Green, Andy Dalton, and Jeremy Hill had all signed the belly of this plastic turtle, and then we forgot to take it away from Kyle, and it had just rubbed off over time. So we had a plastic turtle signed by AJ Green.
Oh, okay. That takes the cake. That's a winner.
So I might be able to stump you with my other one. When I was probably 10 years old, we went on a vacation up to just New England. Like we went. I remember driving down this perfect street in Connecticut that was just like lined with trees.
This is a cool one. I really like this one. I was proud of you on this one.
I still have it. Still framed.
Being 10 years old, I was proud of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quick as a cat. Can't stop me. So we're seeing, like we went to a Red Sox game in Fenway. There's stuff I wanted to do, stuff Dad wanted to do. And at one point, there's some kind of trail when you get into like super, super old colonial New England
It's I can't remember what they call it. It's some kind of Patriot Trail.
Yeah, it's like a red
something.
dyed trail on the ground.
Tom Brady Trail. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. But stained with all the bloods of the Buffalo Bills over the years. Sorry, Glenn. But you know, it winds through the streets of like Boston. I think it hits Rhode Island at some point, and you just stop at different memorials. And we had got to a graveyard that had different like revolutionary members in it. Like I'm pretty sure like God, I'm gonna look like an absolute moron. Who was the 1 by land, 2 by sea guy?
Paul Revere.
Paul
Yeah, so
Revere?
Paul Revere was there. A couple other, British are coming type guys are there, and then there was a Sam Adams gravestone from the Revolutionary leader, and I was like, oh, cool.
Did it have a beer on tap?
It did not have a beer on tap. So I the way early 2000s families are, get a picture in front of it. So I'm here posing with like a gravestone of Sam Adams, and then like a week later, there was an autograph signing in Cincinnati with defensive tackle Sam Adams.
Oh,
So I was like, can I get my picture of Sam Adams' gravestone signed? And Dad's like, I guess. Let's see how
That's
this
so
goes.
morbid.
Let's see how this goes. So we're in line. I think Dad's got like one of the little Bengal autograph helmets where you like peel the one thing back and get the middle of it signed or whatever. And everybody's got like a football or a shirt or a jersey. And I'm sitting there holding this like picture frame of Sam Adams' grave. And I get up to the front of the line and I set it down. He looked at it, looked up at me, looked back at it, and he went, I wasn't expecting that. And I said, you had one too many chicken wings. He was like, oh, I guess. And then he fucking signed it and gave it back. So it's probably in my closet somewhere. I'll have to find it one of these days. But I have an
I need more of this right now.
I have an autographed and I think I'm wearing a Willie Mo Pena jersey in the picture too.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing makes sense to this photo beyond the fact that it's a Sam Adams from the Revolution signed by Sam Adams of the Bengals while wearing a Red Sox Willie Mo Pena jersey. So that's mine. So we've got a turtle signed by AJ Green, and then I've got Sam Adams signing Sam Adams.
Yours is the coolest story.
Yeah.
Sam Adams was the coolest one.
That's all I got.
You'll find if we ever get together, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get. Like a lot of people have the same kind of stuff. We go for like weird, unique stuff that like nobody else.
Oh yeah.
Like the
That's the coolest thing though.
The coolest thing. The coolest thing I think Bengal Dad has, and it's downstairs. He has got a champagne bottle from the 1990 World Series celebration, signed by all three Nasty Boys.
Yeah,
that's neat as shit. Like you're not going to find too many of those.
That's a neat one. I try to only collect things that are really, really rare.
So let's see if I got it.
Things.
Randy Myers.
Yep.
Rob Dibble.
Yeah,
Yep.
The third one's always the hardest one.
Is it Norm Charlton?
Yeah,
Bingo.
Storm and Norman.
Yes, dude, they were so awesome.
They were.
I always tried to imitate Rob Dibble when I was pitching, and it failed horribly.
I was like, that's not a good one.
I threw like 34 miles an hour. I was going for 99. It sucked.
Rob Dibble's still in really good shape. I for the last 2 or 3 years, I've done the Reds fantasy camp. So I'm in Arizona and I'm playing with all those. There's like 22 ex-players that are coaches.
Oh, tell your Brett Tomko story.
I want to do that so bad.
You got to tell. Well, here I will start with the preface of the Brett Tomko story, and then you can finish it off.
I'm gonna have to duck out here in a couple minutes for just a moment. Cassidy's new boyfriend is about to come in the house.
There's another one.
Is he here yet? He's not.
You got
here.
your shotgun ready?
Start your story.
Okay, well I'll start this. No
gun.
Hello.
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 Cassidy.
We're all nerds here.
She smells very perfumey right now.
Trying to show off for the new one, huh?
I'm nervous. Ugh.
Does he know you DoorDash Taco Bell 7 times a week in your pajamas? Are you setting him up for disaster?
No, I'm gonna wait a little to tell him all that.
Well, it's on YouTube now.
Like a week.
Hello.
Wait a
You got
week.
fan already.
Just wait a week. You'll be good.
Yeah, sure.
All right, start on your story because I don't really know where this is going with Tomko.
Okay, well, we'll end with your where you got to face him.
Where I get to face him?
Yeah, in fantasy camp. Where you
Well,
got
there's
all
not much-
cock- you
There's
got
not
all
much
cocky
to
on.
the story.
Huh?
I'll be out there in a second. There's not much to at the end of fantasy camp on the Saturday, the last day. They have the or maybe it's a Friday. They have the campers versus the pros. And Tomko happened to be my coach that week, so we got to know each other a little bit. It was fun. And I come up to the plate, and because he was one of my coaches, he pitches against us. And the first pitch he threw me was a meatball right down the middle, and I was so anxious. I pulled it foul, hit a line drive over the third base dugout, 10 rows up into the stands, rattled around the stands. It looked pretty cool that I hit a rocket line drive off of Brett Tomko. So I was feeling my oats, and before I came in for the second pitch, I did the thing where I pointed. It's going out there. He didn't like that. So the next pitch,
Bengal babe.
yeah, the next pitch, he decided to give me a real fastball. And it was definitely in the high 80s. And I mean, I swung at it, but I'm sure I was a day and a half late on it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to gear up. And then he threw me a slider. Strike 3, swing and miss, and duck my head down, walk back to the dugout. But he autographed the baseball that I hit because somebody retrieved it in the stands, and it said,
Oh,
"Latin
cool.
foul ball hit off Brett Tomko."
Now,
Oh, that's cool.
my
that's
favorite
the story.
part is the part of the story that happened about 30 years prior, where you
I bought 500 rookie Brett Tomko baseball cards
Wait.
he thought
What?
it was going to be
when he was just coming up as
guy.
a red. I took a shot. I think they cost me a nickel a piece, so I don't know what that cost me. $25.
So you weren't out much,
No,
but
I wasn't out much.
No,
And
but
I
that was
remember when I first
500.
met him, and I had told somebody standing next to him that I had 500 of his rookie cards. It was I think it was Tom Browning or one of the other players said, "What the hell did you do that for? Why would you buy 500 of this guy's card?" They jab each other all the time. It's fun. Fantasy camp is a blast. It really is.
But now I'm trying to get him to get Brett Tomko to sign 500 Brett
Oh, yeah, you sign otherwise? It might be worth 10 cents a piece.
that's too good. I love that.
We've got some goofy stories of weird things that have happened over the
We
years.
do have some stuff.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, we better wind this down. I got to meet this new dude. He's Australian. Got crocodile
Oh.
in the house.
Australian.
Ask him about the shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah, exactly.
Kangaroos.
I talked to him on the phone one day, and he was using the word mate. I mean, it's like, oh, this is the real deal.
Cassidy wrangle this one up.
Ask him about
Mine.
a wallaby.
Yeah, Wallaby.
Wallaby.
Crockett.
That's not a knife. No, that's a knife.
Crocky.
I need to bring him in here so you guys can have you.
Yeah, bring him on.
Absolutely not.
What's his name?
Justin.
That's not Australian.
No,
Yeah, but
No.
that's his name.
Justin.
His name is Justin. He's got a really weird last name. I don't know what it is.
Is it Justin Mate?
Mike
No.
No, no.
Kangaroo.
Oh.
Is he
Justin-
Thor?
Is he? Yes, Hoss.
Hemsworth.
I don't know.
Cassidy brought home a Hemsworth. We don't ever have to.
Hey,
You know, it
we
could
got
be
Hoss still listening.
Steve Irwin, Steve Irwin, Kangaroo, Gator.
Foster's beer. Just throw the
Yeah.
main 5 things that they actually don't like at him and see how he responds.
Dude,
Crockett.
I love-
Crockett.
I love the extreme Steve Irwin stuff. Like, crikey,
No.
there. It's like there's a Bengal tiger over there. I'm going to go over there. You see his little balls hanging down. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to flip them. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? The dingo ate the baby.
That would be like, that bear over there is really dangerous and could screw you up, but I'm going to go over there and touch it anyway.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to go give it a wriggle.
Yeah.
There was a stand-up comedian that made fun of Steve Irwin one time. I can remember the skit, but I can't remember who he was. He was saying, like, crikey, there's one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. I'm going to poke it with a stick.
Oh, who was that? Yes. Oh. That's on the tip of my tongue who that is.
Oh, my God. He did one that was really, really racist, so I won't repeat the joke on here. But he was like, it's an Iraqi warrior. I'm going to poke it with a stick. And he was like, he's angry. And he's turning around.
Uh-oh. I think the Australian has arrived.
Oh, so that's been the rally around the natty. No.
I see a raised up 4x4.
Wait.
Yes! He's in a Jeep.
Justin.
We want Justin. We want Justin.
He's probably scared to death getting ready to walk in here to meet Cassidy for the first time.
And there's 4 grown men on a podcast.
Yeah, he's live on a podcast.
Well, if they ever get married, we'll air this at his wedding.
Oh, please.
I'll be right back.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. That's too good. Too good.
Yeah, Dad's got some neat stuff that he's kind of got buried away.
Dude, the stuff you sent me, like the pictures of everything, like the downstairs and all that. Holy crap. That is amazing. Everything that he's got.
So the counter I sent you, they're Jack Daniel's barrels that he bought from the distillery and had a carpenter take them apart and build all the furniture out of the barrels. And my favorite part was, Dad, I'm gonna make fun of you for a second. I sent Cincy James some stuff in the basement.
Oh.
Here you go, guys. Eat your heart out. How does Bengal Dad have this for a wife?
Oh my God.
I'll kick the coverage.
Absolutely.
Look at this face.
I'm like that kicker that Buffalo has.
the punt god, Areza, Matt Areza.
I am the punt god.
Jesus Christ.
Are you embarrassed, Tyler?
No, I was just getting ready to make fun of you a little bit if you're ready for it.
Go ahead. I'm still waiting for Steve. What's his name? Steve Irwin or whatever?
Justin.
Steve Irwin.
What's his name?
Justin.
What's some other stereotypical Australian names we can throw out? Let's just go.
Anywho,
I
was telling Cincy James how you bought the barrels from the Jack Daniel distillery and you had your guy make a lot of the furniture out of it. My favorite part about that entire thing is when barrels first got here, he had to put them in the garage to air out because they were actually used in the aging process. They smelled of bourbon and whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
And he drove home one night and he parked his car in the garage with the windows down. He got in the car and he was a little pissed off. I don't think he put 2 and 2 together. He was like, why does my car smell like alcohol? I was like, because you have 18 barrels of bourbon in your garage. And he went, oh.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I was like, how did you forget that?
He said, crikey.
Oh, is he walking in?
I don't know. I gotta go check.
I'll be back, guys.
Come on, Justin.
Oh, my God.
Justin.
So,
Sorry.
actually, if you look in my dad's background there, at the top left and top right, there's 2 cases of baseball.
Yeah.
I think the top left one is just as many players from the 75 team as he could get, like the grade 8 and stuff like that.
Wow.
The top right one is a bunch of like goofy ones we've collected over the years. The top middle one is my prized possession. It's It's Teddy Kramer, the Bat Boy they used to bring out every
Oh,
once in a
yeah.
Yes, Teddy with Todd Frazier.
Yeah, so we've got some Teddy
Yes.
Kramer autographed baseballs. We ran into him one time. He was
That's awesome.
we legit ran into him in like an elevator at a Reds game. He's like, "Hey guys," I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "This was for Jay Bruce, but I need you to sign this right now." And he was like, "Sweet." He was signing all our shit. He was so happy. I was like, "This is the best thing that
That's-
could have happened today."
That was a combo right there. Todd Frazier and Teddy. Oh my goodness.
So
So genuine.
I was telling about the Teddy Kramer autograph.
Oh yeah, we got Teddy's autograph.
The other cool thing
Kim and I
is-
got that at some.
well,
He
you
was at
got
some,
one
some
and I
kind
got
of
one.
concert.
I ran into him at a Reds game.
Did you?
Ashley and I did.
So did you? You got his autograph too, didn't you?
We both have it.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things that you're working on is he has. Are they game used bats or are they just looked age?
No, they're game. I think one of them might be game used, but they're pretty much game authorized bats, which are the game bat, but maybe they did or did not use it in a game.
One of them I think has. It's a cracked bat. So
I think two of them are cracked.
okay.
No, I'm trying to get autographed game authorized or game used bats from each of the starting 8 of the Big Red Machine.
He's
I've got 4 of them.
He's got 4 right now.
I got 4 of them.
Yeah, who do you?
That's
have?
amazing.
You've got Rose.
I got the
think you've
bench.
got Morgan.
I got Rose, Morgan, Bench, and Concepcion. Concepcion and Geronimo are the 2 hardest ones to get.
Did you ever get Joe Morgan before he died?
Yeah, we got Morgan.
I mean, I didn't meet Morgan. I mean, I just bought it.
I think we've met Morgan before.
Joe Morgan. Not a girl.
What?
As soon as I walk in.
Yeah, she's hot. No.
Oh,
just kidding.
Justin.
Oh, there went the lights.
Look at that. You turned the lights out.
I did love
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Justin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Justin!
Hey, Justin. Justin.
It's the Bengal podcast crew.
Are you my new brother?
See, he's
I'm
amazing.
good. How are you?
He didn't
Are
talk.
you my new brother?
I guess so. I don't know.
Yay, family! Woo!
Yeah. So what are all who are all these people?
That's my son, Tyler.
Okay.
You're my brother now. You're here.
Okay.
That'd be Cincy James.
Okay.
Just another podcaster.
Okay.
Just another guy.
Just another guy.
He lives in
Kevin,
Just a
Kentucky. We
guy.
don't care about him.
Doesn't quite fit.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I think Justin does know who the Bengals are.
I do. I do know who they are.
All right.
well, who's your favorite player?
Who died?
What?
What'd you say, James?
Who's your favorite player?
Oh Jesus! I would say Burrow now, but I don't know.
That's a win.
You can't lose with that answer. You're good.
Well, he has to be here, right?
Sure. I'm not mad about it. You could have said McPherson. We'd have been fine too.
Cover of
Yeah.
Illustrated.
Tyler, I'm going to let you carry this the rest of the way. I'm not going to be totally rude here. I'll be rude to you guys.
Okay.
Not the
Hey,
new
that's
guy.
fine. We get it. Nice to meet you, Justin.
Nice to meet you guys.
Justin.
Great Australian accent. Yes.
See you, brother. Oh, it cut off. It cut off.
Ah, anyway.
So you've met like a third of my family now.
Well, and your new brother, so that was good.
Right. So
Yeah.
that was my stepmother, and she has like 100 kids. And it was just Kyle and I growing up. So now we're like the Brady Bunch, and I'm trying to get used to a bunch of people. It's
wow.
not easy.
Yeah.
I had one brother who can't talk, and now I have, 4 other brothers and a sister. And it's like, there's 7 of us now. And then they're all married, and almost all of us have kids. And it's like, Christmas went from like a nice little intimate 4 people thing to it's like, all right, here's 100.
Here's
people.
73 people. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm broke now. I can't buy everybody every.
That's why we like exchange gifts, you know?
We do the like white elephant thing where it's like, okay, everybody
Yes.
buy a $25 gift that everybody would probably be okay with, throw it in the pot, and we'll see what you get.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not mad about a generic black Nike hat. Thanks.
No, my family, generally speaking, I'm used to the big thing because, like, over the years, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and any other holidays, birthday parties and stuff, it's usually pretty big because that's just like that's how my mom grew up and she liked it that way. My dad, on the other hand, is closer to what you described, Santori, where my dad's like, well, Christmas would be like we'd go down to Southern Illinois to see our family down there. We'd hang out for a bit, and then we'd go home like the next day. And then it was small gatherings and this and that. And then obviously my dad married my mom, and that kind of changed because my mom was always hanging out with family and friends, birthday parties, Christmas, holidays, just anything in general. So to me, big parties, regardless, is just kind of what I've known.
See, Cincy James is nice when he coughs. I just cough straight into the mic. He mutes it. I'm like,
No, I felt it coming on. I was like, I don't want to interrupt Kevin like you just did. No.
That's kind of what we do, man.
I do that. Like if I'm on a Twitter space and I'm talking to some of my friends and like I have to go to the bathroom, I'll mute my mic so they don't hear me like peeing or something.
So you don't pull a Jeff Strawberry Ice and pee straight into the mic and we can all hear it on the live podcast?
Yeah, I don't. I'm on the Twitter space. I'm hanging out with my friends, and I got like pee or something. Like I'll listen to it, but then right before I pee, I turn off. I mute the mic, and then I pee. And then when I'm done, I flush the toilet, and then I unmute the mic so they don't hear it.
Okay. Well, guys, I'm gonna cut this off. We are welcome to stay and talk in the background. I just hour and a half for the podcast going a little long, but we can still talk in BS a little bit if you want.
Oh,
That's cool.
So I'll end this right now, and it's